Good morning, college football fans, and welcome to a special episode of College Football 26 season-long Imperialism at a special time. The college football playoff unveiling is in about 90 minutes, and we are going to be reacting to it live. Obviously, I won't be showing it here because I do not want this entire channel to be deleted for, copyright infringement, but we will be reacting and seeing how the rankings pan out, whether they actually rank Notre Dame above Miami, which I think is insane, and whether Duke potentially makes it into the college football playoff, beating out our Cinderella, James Madison, for the last spot. Whole bunch of really interesting stuff to see in that ranking, but first we have to eliminate 6 more teams from our map. 38 teams remain, and there's 8 teams that have not played yet. We're going to be selecting from a wheel that just features those 8 teams, so that when we get close to the top 25, every single team will have earned their place by playing at least one game. And then we'll also be updating this wheel of the last 38 teams remaining, as is standard Imperialism. So, let's shuffle this thing and get going. There's only a couple teams left here. Who is going to be next? It looks like we're finally getting Purdue. They just saw their bitter rivals Indiana win the Big Ten for the first time in decades last night. So now they're looking to make their own mark in Imperialism. They've got Illinois, Ball State, and Notre Dame they're bordering. Let's see where the arrow will take them. That's going to be due west, and that'll be Illinois for the first time since the very first episode of this tournament, when Illinois took out the number 1 team in the college football playoff this year, the Indiana Hoosiers, in a crazy upset considering how good they actually ended up being. So let's get it set up. Big Ten matchup, Illinois versus Purdue. And no, I don't actually play Ultimate Team. It just forced me into a menu, as it always does. Illinois is going to be the home team. There they are, and then on the other side, you got the Purdue Boilermakers. This should be a win for Illinois, considering how good their offense is and how bad Purdue's defense is, but we could see some shocks. It's the battle for the Purdue Cannon. Let's take a look at the uniforms. Illinois' got this look. Do they have an all-orange look? They do. This is crazy. And their throwback. Whoa. I think we may have already used their throwback in their first game, but I think we might just say screw it and use it again. Except for the fact that the gold pants kind of mesh weirdly. Let's go with the all orange for Illinois. And then we'll just go with standard away for Purdue. Okay. This is going to be a noon kickoff because we're actually doing these during the day this time. Let's get it going. The Big Ten has been low-key dominating this tournament. So many big wins. So many teams still remain on the map. But one will fall right here, as the Purdue Boilermakers, who have avoided playing this whole time, will go up against a much better Big Ten opponent in the Illinois Fighting Illini. If Purdue loses this game, then Ball State will be your Indiana State champions. Really, it's a shame that Indiana lost that opening game to Illinois, because I would have loved to see them grow on this map and contend just like their actual team has. Better than they ever have before. But now that Fernando Mendoza is leaving, who knows whether Indiana is going to be good next year. There goes the kickoff. And we are underway in Champaign. A little tired. It's a great tackle on the opening kick return for Illinois, as Purdue's quarterback steps off the sideline ready to roll. It's Mr. Brown. I don't know what his name is. I haven't pulled up the depth charts for this one because I think Illinois is just going to run away with it as soon as we get it started. Brown takes the snap. Pulls an RPO out of his hat on the first play, and it's incomplete as Illinois was there to break that one up as we go to Super Sim. There we go. Illinois gets denied on a goal line stand. They're trying to score here, and they do. It's 7-0. Now it's 14-0. 14-3. Purdue trying desperately to keep it close. I don't think they will. 14-9. They missed the 2-point conversion, though. But now it's 20-9, and we can just finish this out. Okay. 21-9. And that is your ball game. Illinois is able to get a very quick victory there, taking out Purdue 21-9. An uneventful but great game for the Illinois Fighting Illini, winning their second game of Imperialism, expanding further into the state of Indiana, and leaving Ball State as the only team left in the Hoosier State. Let's go to the map to solidify that. There we go. Purdue, you did about as much as I thought you were going to in this tournament. Bye-bye. Go. No, it's not worth it. Can we make Illinois' logo any bigger with that? Yes. Yes, we can. If we put it right here, I think we can go even bigger. Yeah, that'll do it. All right, so Illinois has a new and expanded territory. We got to go over to the wheel and knock Purdue off of this one, and then knock Purdue off of this guy as well. There we go. Let's go to stats, and oh god, the screen froze. Hold on. There we go. All right, now we're going to stats. Luke Altmaier, 12 of 18, 139. He just didn't make mistakes and played as a game manager. Good game for him. And Ryan Brown, 12 of 31 for 134 yards. Just not efficient with the football. As we go to the run game, Purdue didn't have one. Leading rusher was Malachi Thomas, 4 carries for 21 yards. He will not make the stat sheet with effort like that. Aiden Laffrey, 20 carries for 59 yards and 2 scores. He also had a fumble and 4 broken tackles. Luke Altmaier, 11 carries for 24 yards. Caden Fagan, 4 for 11 and a touchdown. Hudson Clement, 1 for 4. And here are the longs. As we go to receiving, Hank Beatty, 4 for 65. Tanner Arkin, 3 for 23. Colin Dixon, 2 for 7. Aiden Laffrey, 1 for 16. Cole Rusk, 1 for 15. Hudson Clement, 1 for 13. As for Purdue, no one is going to make the stat sheet except for Charles Ross, 2 catches for 24 yards and a touchdown. The leading receiver on the day was Christian Moore with 40 yards. We go to the defense. Purdue had 1 player with 3 tackles for loss and a forced fumble. That was Marcus Moore Jr. CJ Madden with 2 TFLs. None of the other guys are going to make it on there. No interceptions. 1 pass breakup for Sam Stewart, but he's not going to make it there. Marcus Moore Jr. did recover the fumble and returned it for 12 yards. Also 1 block from CJ Nunnally the 4th. No safeties, no touchdowns. As we go to Illinois' defense, you have 3 guys with 2 TFLs. Xavier Scott gets 2. Tomiwa Durojaye gets 2. Gabe Jackas gets... Jackas? I don't know. 2 TFLs and 1 sack. Caleb Patterson with 1 TFL. No interceptions for the team. Grant Bierman with 2 pass breakups. Miles Scott with 1. Gentle Hunt forces a fumble and recovers it, returning it for 2 yards. No blocks, no safeties, no touchdowns. So we're going to go to kicking. David Alano had 1 kick blocked and missed both of his field goal attempts. Maybe the worst performance we've seen from a kicker in this tournament, but they won, so it doesn't matter. Spencer Porath went 1 for 2 and did not attempt an extra point on the day. So we go to the main menu, and we return to the map and the wheel. Only 7 teams left. A whole lot of cool colors. Nothing warm there because it's winter. We'll shuffle and get going. Florida, the kickoff invitational champions, somehow still haven't played in this tournament. Is that going to happen here? Nope, it's going to Eastern Michigan. So Florida avoids the wheel once again, as the Eastern Michigan Eagles will finally get to play. They're bordering Wisconsin and Michigan, but they're also bordering Lake Erie on the east side. If it goes there, then they won't have to play at all. We'll just skip and go again. So let's see where the arrow will take this remaining team from the MAC. That's going to be northeast, and that's going straight into Lake Erie. So Eastern Michigan will not play yet. So we shuffle and go again. Eastern Michigan this time. Is it finally Florida? I believe it is. The Florida Gators have finally been landed on here. They have an extra life after winning our kickoff invitational all the way back in July. But they have been sitting, lying in wait, waiting for the wheel to finally select them, and this could be the moment. They're bordering Georgia, Florida State, and UCF, but they also have the Gulf of Mexico over here and the Atlantic Ocean on that side. They could avoid playing once again. Let's break out the arrow and see what happens. That is going straight into the Atlantic Ocean, I believe. There's a slight chance it's going towards UCF, but I sincerely doubt it. Just zoom in here to verify. Yeah, it's going to the ocean. So Florida also avoids playing here. So we shuffle and go again. A record for most wheel spins without an actual game is 4 in a row. But that's not going to happen here because Nevada is completely and totally landlocked. And this is a very crucial game for the west side of the map. Look at the very aesthetically pleasing colors right here. You've got the green, red, and blue, and yellow of Oregon, Utah, Cal, and BYU all surrounding this one remaining Mountain West team, the Nevada Wolfpack. They are the Mountain West champions by virtue of not playing at all. But now they have to face one of these teams that is looking to control the middle and really set themselves up for a bunch of very difficult games. If Cal gets this, I don't like Cal's odds. I don't like Cal's odds to begin with, but especially not if they're forced to play this game. So let's spin the arrow and find out who Nevada will play out west. It's going to be Cal. Of course it is. That's going straight west. And we will go to the Golden Bears territory once again. Let me set up those colors. There we go. Let's get it set up. There's Cal going to be playing at home once again. And on the road, you've got the Nevada Wolfpack. This should be a win for Cal, but maybe Nevada keeps it close. They got one win last year. Who knows if they're going to win this year? We'll go with the current home uniforms for Cal, unless they've got something more interesting. The home throwback is fun. The away throwback is there. The alternate is this yellow and blue look. The home option is very fun. Honestly, we might go with the home option just to add some yellow to this so that it's not just blue versus blue, because that's the away look for Nevada. All right, here we go. It's an ACC versus Mountain West battle here as the Cal Golden Bears fresh off a win over the Stanford Cardinal earlier on in this tournament, will trot out here for their second game of Imperialism, taking on a team from the Mountain West. The last team from the Mountain West. Could we see the end of that conference right here? It's certainly possible. It's Cal versus Nevada. As we get down to only 36 teams remaining in this tournament. This is, of course, the former school of Fernando Mendoza, the runaway Heisman Trophy winner, as that will be decided later on this season. But after that 13-10 win over Ohio State last night, he's got the award in the bag, which is crazy considering where he began. Will be returned by Cal, but it's not a great return. Nevada's able to contain it to the 13-yard line. Let's see if we can pull up these rosters real quick. Got Nevada on this side and California on the other side. They will start here with their new quarterback. Sagapolutele is his last name. He's going to take the snap, hand it off, and that's going to be a pretty nondescript run for 4 yards on first down, which will bring us to Super Sim. Let's see if Nevada can keep this close. Nevada takes a 7-0 lead. Cal is able to respond 7-3. Nevada trying to expand this to a multiple score lead. They can't. 7-6. We get a halftime. It's a 1-point game. We might have to watch this one. This is why I took extra time. 9-7. It's still close. And stop. 3 minutes to go. We're going to jump right in here. Good thing I pulled up the rosters because Nevada has the ball at their own 35. 3 minutes to go, and they are down by 2. All they need is a field goal to take the lead and shock the world by beating the Cal Golden Bears. Their quarterback drops back, throws to the sideline. It's going to be caught. He rolls back in bounds. It's going to take another 20 seconds off the clock. Chuba Purdy has not had a good day throwing the ball. This has been a defensive slugfest for sure. They had the opening drive touchdown, helped out by the run game, but nothing else to speak of. Cal's been able to slowly chip away and get 3 successive field goals to take the lead. Now Purdy has to find something. He drops back, throws deep. That's going to be caught for a Nevada first down up to the 50, and they're officially in business. They still got to go about 15 yards to get into solid field goal range, but they just might be able to do it. As they will get set here with 2:11 to go. This is probably the last play before the 2-minute timeout. Press coverage at the top of your screen, but you got a safety defending over on that left side. Purdy waits, waiting again, hit and sacked on the last play before the 2-minute timeout. A big time tackle for Cal's defense. And it's a loss of 6, bringing up 2nd and 16. Nevada behind the 8 ball. Can they find their way out of this situation? Purdy gets it out quickly. It's going to be knocked away by number 20. That's Cam Sidney making the break up. It's 3rd and 16. It's do or die now for the Wolfpack. Cal has made this a methodical but boring game, but their fans are loving it. Purdy drops back. Throws deep. You got a flag down. That ball is dropped. And that is going to be holding on Nevada, so that's going to be declined. So that will bring up 4th and 16 for Nevada. Can they pull off a miracle to stay in this game, or will Cal lock up the victory? Purdy drops back under pressure again, lofting a deep ball to the end zone. It is incomplete, knocked away. That was number 5 making the play. I don't know what his name is, but it's a fantastic breakup. There goes the run. Can he get to the first down here? No. And that'll be Nevada's first timeout. Beautiful pass breakup. It was just a press coverage, deep ball, the exact kind of play that has sunk so many other teams in Imperialism history. but Cal would not say die. There goes the handoff to the outside. Number 5 gets dropped in the backfield. It's Brandon Hyde Jr., the running back. Setting up 3rd and 8. Nevada might not be done yet. So here's Sagapolotele. He waits. He's left-handed. Throws short. It's going to be caught for a first down. And that is your ball game, barring an absolute miracle. Number 21 makes the catch. And they're not showing his... There we go. That's Jacob DeJesus making the catch. DeJesus, I don't know how you would pronounce that. But he rolls outside, making it happen and sending Cal into the top 36. All they need to do now is run out the clock. Leave a quick little run to High. High is going to break past everybody to the 10 and down to the 4, and that will do it. They'll just take the knee here and finish this game out. It is a 9-7 snoozer. But Cal will not care. They'll take on this extra territory, and they will invite the 3 powerhouses of the West into their home turf at a later date in this tournament. We'll see if Cal can handle much more difficult opposition later, but they're able to take care of business and beat the Nevada Wolfpack here. Jaron Keawe Sagapolotele, a true freshman quarterback, finishing things out, doing just enough to beat Nevada. There was the game-winning first down as they sing their alma mater out west in Berkeley as we return to the map. There we go. And Nevada, sorry to see you go. Bye-bye. Go. Now we can make their logo much bigger. There we go. We can just pop this up. That's the biggest we can make it. So Cal expands out into Nevada's territory. There are no teams left from the state of Nevada, as we are at the top 36. We're going to knock Nevada off of this wheel. We will also knock them off of the main wheel. There they go. Let's go to stats. So Jaron Keawe Sagapolotele, 16 of 29, 175 yards, no touchdowns on the day. Chuba Purdy, 8 of 22 for 69 yards. Nice, but not enough to get on the stat sheet. Herschel Turner is going to be the leading rusher, 12 carries for 26 yards and a touchdown. He will get on the stat sheet because of that score. Purdy will not. He had a long of 7. Kendrick Raphael, the leading rusher, no offense in this game whatsoever, 15 carries for 33 yards. Sagapolotele, 8 for 0. Brandon Hyde Jr., 3 for 21. LJ Johnson Jr., 2 for 3. Raphael was hurt halfway through the game. There are the longs. Jacob DeJesus, the leading receiver, 5 for 62. Tron Grizel, 3 for 25. Kendrick Raphael, 2 for 14 before he got hurt. Landon Morris, 2 for 21. Kion Grays, 2 for 29. Mark Hamper, 1 for 12. Jeffrey Johnson, 1 for 12 as well. Nevada, nobody's going to get on the stat sheet. The leading receiver was Jordan Brown, 3 for 33. As we go to the defense. Thomas Witt with 1 TFL. He won't get on there. Nelson Rapati, 1 TFL and 1 sack. He will get on the stat sheet. Edward Rambo, 1 TFL, 2 pass breakups. Dylan LaBarbera, 1 TFL, 1 sack. Kaysen Kinshin, 1 TFL, 1 pass breakup. No interceptions. Stone Combs will also get there with 2 pass breakups. And no forced fumbles, no recoveries, no blocks, no safeties, No touchdowns. And then we go over to Cal. Aiden Kianina with 2 TFLs and half a sack. Nate Burrell, 1 TFL, half a sack. TJ Bush Jr., 1 TFL. Curly Thomas the Force, 1 and 1. Brent Austin, 1 with 2 pass breakups. Harrison Taggart gets the interception with 14 return yards. Brent Austin, 2 pass breakups. Tristan Dunn with 2. Cam Sidney with 1. And Hezekiah Masses with the game-winning pass breakup right at the end. TJ Bush Jr. with a forced fumble. Nobody recovered it. No blocks, no safeties, no touchdowns as we go to kicking. And Chase Meyer made 3 field goals in the day with a long of 36. He did his job and brought his team further into the tournament. Keaton Emmett made 1 extra point. That's all he wrote. As we go back to the main menu. There we go. Spin this wheel once again. Only 6 teams have not played yet. 3 from the Power 4, 3 from the Group of 5. Who's going next? Let's find out. And it's Eastern Michigan for the second time in this episode. They skipped playing last time. And we'll see if the arrow finally delivers them a game right here. Eastern Michigan. They've got Wisconsin and Michigan as options. Where will the arrow take them? That's going to be straight west, and that will be to the great state of Wisconsin. The Badgers had a bad year in the Big Ten, but they could get another victory right here and solidify their hold over Northern Michigan. Let's set it up. Okay, so it's going to be Wisconsin on this side. There they are. And Eastern Michigan over here. This should be a win for Wisconsin, but maybe, just maybe, the Eagles shock the world. Wisconsin will go with their standard home, unless they have something more interesting. Got the away look. 1980s throwback is fun. The home option is just all red. I think we're just going to go with their standard home look. Their home uniforms all green. We will go with their away look, which really highlights the gray. There we go. It's the Wii game. Wisconsin versus Eastern Michigan. E. It is time once again to return to the fabled ground of Camp Randall. As these Wisconsin fans get ready to welcome their team, Billy Edwards Jr. and the Wisconsin Badgers running out the tunnel, ready to defend this great state against one of the last remaining teams from the MAC, the Eastern Michigan Eagles. They have survived through sheer dumb luck all the way to the top 36. Can they make the top 35 and beat a Big Ten opponent? It is certainly a very large task in front of the Eagles. But maybe they have the toughness to pull it off. Let's see if they can do this. Wisconsin will receive the ball first. And it's a good return past the 20 out to the 24-yard line. And the question is Billy Edwards still the starter out in Wisconsin? I think the answer is yes. The former Maryland quarterback who had 5 stellar games for the Terps in last year's Imperialism tournament and has had a couple good contests for Wisconsin here. Maybe just one, I'm not sure. Edwards fakes the handoff, will throw on first down. Has a little bit of time. He'll run instead to the 30, to the 35, to the 40. Beautiful run for Edwards out close to midfield. And he has that dog in him. He's such a good Imperialism quarterback. He's one of the all-time statistical leaders, besides Quinn Ewers and Alex Orgy, of course. As we jump to Super Sim to see if Billy Edwards can keep his Imperialism story alive for one more game. Wisconsin gets an open drive field goal. Eastern Michigan answers with a touchdown. Wisconsin trying to respond, and they do. 13-7, 20-7. They're trying to put them out of their misery. 23-7. Eastern Michigan can't respond. 26-7, 26-14. Can they get one more touchdown? They can. And we're going to go one play at a time until we get to 4 minutes. There we go. We're going to jump right in here because this could be a shocking upset. 2nd and 10. Eastern Michigan is at the Wisconsin 35. And we got to pull up the rosters now. Eastern Michigan on one side. It's Noah Kim at quarterback. He hands it off. That's not going to be a great run. Number 77 is able to make the stop. Let's pull up those rosters to see who that was. Come on. Number 77 for Wisconsin, that is a man who's not on the depth chart. Of course he isn't. So here we go. 3rd and 8 for Eastern Michigan. Kim drops back, waits, rolls out, throws to the sideline, and just dumped it off to no one. Noah Kim with a disappointing play there. It'll be 4th and 8 from the 33. Do you try a long field goal here to make it a 2-point game? Do you go for it? This is no man's land. There's no good answers. What will they choose? They're going to try and kick the long field goal. It's Rudy Kessinger. From 50 yards out, the kick is good. It's an incredible kick for a MAC kicker. And Rudy Kessinger makes it a 2-point game, but now their defense has to step up and make the stop here. Great form, great hold, good blocking by Eastern Michigan. As that ball sailed straight down the middle, it had plenty of space. That guy's got an NFL-ready leg. As Wisconsin will be forced to respond. They still have the lead. And if they're able to get a couple first downs, they can end the game right here without Eastern Michigan getting it again. What time is it? It's 11:03. I think we have enough time. Edwards fakes the handoff, wants to throw in first down, launches it deep. It's going to be caught for a first down. And that was number 1 making the catch. That is Chris Brooks Jr. making it happen for the Badgers. Easy little floater pass with a tackle made by number 6. That was Bryce Llewellyn. As we get going for 1st and 10 here, Edwards running the clock down as much as he can. He fakes the handoff, rolls out, throws short. Another first down for Wisconsin to the 40. 35-30. Wisconsin is in field goal range after just 2 plays. Billy Edwards, as he always does, he is putting up numbers. Over 300 yards passing. I don't know if anyone's gone over 400 this tournament. I don't think it's possible for Billy Edwards, but he's going to hand it off here. Number 25, who makes a spin move, falls forward. There's the 2nd timeout for Eastern Michigan. If Wisconsin gets one more first down, this game is over, and the Badgers will survive to the top 35. Edwards sends the running back in motion. Drops back, throws short. It's going to be caught. Not a first down yet. It's a good tackle for Eastern Michigan. But this is do or die. If Wisconsin gets this play, this yard, then Eastern Michigan is eliminated once again. They still have yet to win their first ever Imperialism game. Here's the quarterback sneak. Edwards gets it. No, he doesn't. He falls short. I thought he had that. I've run that quarterback sneak so much of Billy Edwards. He's so good at it. I can't believe he didn't get it. And it wasn't because the defender stopped him that they're going to kick the field goal. Oh, my God. And there's the 2-minute timeout as Nathaniel Vakos will step out to try and kick this thing. They're not going to go for it on 4th and inches to win the game. I cannot believe that choice. Eastern Michigan will get another chance here. Vakos' kick from 35 is good. So it's 29-14 to 24. The Wisconsin ROTC guys doing their push-ups. It's a good kick from Vacos, but all you have to do is gain 6 inches to win the game. And you don't go for it. I don't understand, man. And that wasn't a tush push where he was stuffed. He just fell short. But he gained the amount of yardage they needed. I don't understand that at all, man. Come on. There's the throw to the left side, and he completely misses, man. Let me update the lighting here real quick. There we go. Really got the thing to match Camp Randall, especially with the sunlight coming out. 2nd and 10 now for Eastern Michigan. They have a long way to go and no timeouts. Kim in the shotgun. He drops back. Throws short. It's going to be dropped, and they're probably glad he dropped it because that's going to save about 20 seconds of time as we go to 3rd and 10 here. Eastern Michigan, their backs are against the wall. Can they come through when it matters most? Kim waits, under pressure, throws deep. He's got a man there, and it is caught. It fell out of his hands at the end, but they're going to say he survived the ground and made the catch. 1st and 10. The clock will stop. They're at the 42. Let's take another look at this thing. Catch down, and then he drops it. That is a good completed catch. It's 1st and 10 for Eastern Michigan. Kim fakes the handoff, throws deep. Again, it's going to be caught, but short of the first down. That's going to knock 20 seconds off the clock. They can't afford that. So they're just going to stand around and wait as number 2 makes another difficult contested catch. I don't know who he is because he's not on the depth chart. 2nd and 3. Kim drops back, throws short. It's going to be caught again. That's Rooks, Porter Rooks, the Z wide receiver, making the catch, stopping the clock with 1:07 to go. They're 39 yards away from pay dirt. Is Wisconsin about to choke this game away? Be very sad if they did. We'd have to wave bye-bye to Billy Edwards. Kim drops back, throws deep for the end zone. That's going to be dropped. Number 5 for Wisconsin's able to make the stop. And I don't know who that is. But it's a fantastic stop for Wisconsin. 2nd and 10 now. Kim in the shotgun. He waits, floats it deep. He's got a man there. That ball is dropped. Oh my God. Number 81, Nick Devereaux, had the game in his hands. No effort from the defender. There might have been a little bit, but that's entirely on him. A brutal drop. 3rd and 10, 48 seconds to go. Wisconsin running press coverage again on the outside. No safety help. That's where the ball's going, I guarantee you. Kim waits, throws short, caught. Devereaux makes it up this time, but steps out of bounds. He stepped out of bounds. He had a wide open convoy to the end zone. Nick Devereaux, what are you doing, man? Turns and just can't stay in bounds. That's embarrassing from Devereaux. 1st and 10 from the 23. Eastern Michigan still has a chance, though. No press coverage this time. Kim throws short to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Eastern Michigan. Number 2 gets into the end zone. Wisconsin's defense has folded. It's Lockett Jr. Rolling in, Terry Lockett Jr. Weird name. I think there's a player on James Madison who also has that name. Wow. Eastern Michigan has taken the lead. They're probably going to go for 2 here in order to make it a 3-point game. Wisconsin has all 3 of their timeouts and an absolute baller at quarterback in Billy Edwards Jr. They will go for 2. Very important conversion here. I cannot believe Wisconsin has fallen to this level. Kim Throws to the outside. It's going to be caught for the conversion. And now Wisconsin needs a field goal to tie it. They have all 3 timeouts. They've got a very efficient offense, but this is a tall order against an Eastern Michigan defense that was able to make the red zone stop, which has now given them the lead. Wisconsin will return the kickoff and knock more seconds off the clock. I don't know why they did that. So here's 1st and 10. Edwards in the empty set. Nothing to lose. He drops back. Throws. Short. Going to be caught. He will not get the first down. He will not get out of bounds. Timeout, Wisconsin. Bad play there. Edwards up to 330 yards passing, but it's not going to matter if they lose to Eastern Michigan at home. Edwards throws short. It's a first down. That'll briefly stop the clock, but they're going to call another timeout. They only have 1 left. At some point, Edwards has to uncork it deep with 24 seconds to go. Edwards throws short again. That's going to be caught. They have to use their last timeout. I cannot believe this. Why would you call a screen on 1st and 10? With this much time remaining. Such dumb play calling. I cannot believe this. Edwards on his last hurrah. Throws short. They get the first down, but they're going to have to sprint up to the line and spike the ball. They don't have much time. Number 2 is able to make the catch. It's Trech Kekahuna with the catch. But the clock is running with 13 seconds to go. They just have to run up and spike it. They don't have another option. But they're going to run a play here with 7 seconds. 6, 5, 4. Can they get it off? 3. Edwards, last play of the game, is going to throw short a halfback screen, and they deserve it. With that play calling, they deserve it. Wisconsin has been eliminated. Eastern Michigan pulls off the upset to get into the top 34. Do you believe in miracles? Noah Kim upsets Billy Edwards. 279 passing yards and the game-winning touchdown late in the day. As Eastern Michigan, I would say, shocks the world. But Wisconsin's been bad. They lost to Maryland, of all teams. What a crazy win on the road at Camp Randall for the Eastern Michigan Eagles. Let's go to the map. There we go. Just covering all the bases here. Oh, yeah, they beat Minnesota, too. My God. This is going to be a huge territory for Eastern Michigan, but Wisconsin, you got a couple good games. You padded stats for Billy Edwards. That's all I really care about. Bye-bye. So suddenly, the Eastern Michigan Eagles have one of the largest territories on the map. As crazy as that sounds. Do we have ourselves a new Cinderella in the endgame? I think we might. And I don't think we can make that logo any bigger because we can put it here. Well, yeah, let's expand that a little bit more. So there we go. Eastern Michigan out in Minnesota. As we are down to the top 34. We're going to knock Eastern Michigan off of this wheel. And then knock Wisconsin off of the main wheel. There we go. Only 35 teams left. Hold up. Who'd I forget? Eastern Michigan, Illinois, Georgia Tech, Utah, Michigan, Rice, Buffalo, Miami, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, Arizona State, Penn State, Florida, Alabama. Have we only done 3 games? We had 8 left, and now we have 5. Oh, we've only done 3. Okay, that makes my job a little easier. Let's go to stats. There we go. Let's take a look at how this one went down. Billy Edwards Jr., 27-34, 354 yards, and 1 touchdown, but he couldn't come up with the last second drive. You know who did? Noah Kim, 22 of 40, 279, and 2 scores. In the rushing game, Dante McMillan, 11 for 63 and 2 touchdowns himself. Great day for him, a long of 25. We go to Wisconsin. Cade Giacomelli, 13 for 40 with 1 touchdown. Billy Edwards, 10 for 29. We go to receiving. Vinny Anthony, 7 for 114 yards. Chris Brooks Jr., 7 for 108. Trek Kahuna, 5 for 66. Grant Steck, 3 for 28. Lance Mason, 2 for 18. Jaden Ballard, 1 for 9 and a touchdown. Kyan Barry Johnson, 1 for 5. Cade Giacomelli, 1 for 6. For Eastern Michigan, Terry Lockett Jr., 8 for 126 yards and 1 touchdown. Nick Devereaux, 6 for 94 and a touchdown. Dante McMillan, 3 for 24. Demetrius McGee, 2 for 12. Porter Rooks, 2 for 17. James Jointer Jr., 1 for 6, and then a drop from Wheeler. As we go to the defensive stats for Eastern Michigan. Donovan Green, 2 TFLs, 2 sacks, 1 pass breakup. Joshua Scott, 1 TFL. Marco Patierno, 1 TFL, 1 pass breakup. And then no interceptions. Jason Marshall, 2 pass breakups. Caden Bailey adds 1. No forced fumbles, no recoveries, no blocks, no safeties, no touchdowns. So we go to Wisconsin. Matthew Young, 1 TFL. Will McDonald, 1 TFL and a sack. Preston Zachman with 1. No interceptions. Christian Allegro with 3 pass breakups in the day. Deani Hill adds 1. Preston Zachman adds 1. No forced fumbles, no recoveries, no blocks, no safeties, no touchdowns. Nathaniel Vakos made 5 field goals on the day with 2 extra points. That is a 17-point performance. But it wasn't enough because they should have gone for a quarterback sneak to win the game, and they didn't. They had boneheaded play calls in the final drive. Rudy Kessinger with 1 made field goal from 50 yards when they absolutely needed it, as well as 3 extra points. 6-point game for him. He's going to be very happy with how he played, especially as a true freshman. As we return to the main menu for our 4th game of the day. It's 11:18. We're starting to run out of time, so we got to go quickly here. Let's shuffle and get going. 5 teams left. And now it's Charlotte. This is almost definitely going to be James Madison that the 49ers will play. The Dukes could be a couple minutes away from their first ever college football playoff berth. We'll see if their Imperialism squad can survive as well. They've won 8 games so far. This will be their 9th victory. If this does end up being James Madison versus Charlotte, it could also be Clemson. Let's spin this arrow and find out. And it will be James Madison, just as I predicted. Let's get it set up. So on this side, the Dukes return once again. It's been a while for them, but they are back. On the other side, the Charlotte 49ers. Right here. This should be a win for James Madison, but this one could get crazy. Let's take a look at the uniforms. We're going to go with the standard home option for James Madison. And then Charlotte will go with their home uniforms. This is a big game out east. It's the last easy game for the James Madison Dukes. And let's make sure the lighting matches. There we go. We are purple once again as the James Madison Dukes look to defend their territory once again against another group of 5 school. They're looking to make one more big elimination to survive into our college football playoff reaction, which will start at noon when that show begins. Or could Charlotte pull off the upset, gaining a huge amount of territory in the Mid-Atlantic and knocking out our Cinderella? James Madison has the most wins ever for a group of 5 team in Imperialism. They've got 8 so far, looking for number 9 right here. It is a decent kick return out to the 23-yard line as Alonzo Barnett, the Sun Belt Player of the Year, gets things started. Matthew Sluka guided James Madison to their first extra life, and then the depth charts updated. Alonzo Barnett became the starter, and he has been dominating so far. Barnett in the shotgun. Going to hand it off to Wayne Knight up the middle, and he is going to be taken down for an 8-yard pickup as we go to Super Sim here. Can the Dukes take care of business? Let's find out. They do score on the opening drive, but they miss the extra point. They get the second one, though. 16-0. They're dominating Charlotte so far. 16-7. 49ers trying to make a comeback at 16-14. We're still close. Charlotte trying to take the lead, and they do. It's 17-16. That missed extra point is ending up being huge. And stop. James Madison driving. They just got sacked on 1st and goal. But they're down by 5. Charlotte has them up against the ropes. This could be bad. 2nd and goal for James Madison. We're pulling up their roster now. 2nd goal from the 16. Can the Dukes get the lead back here? Barnett under pressure again, and he's sacked for the 2nd play in a row. Jamarian Solomon's able to make the stop. Oh, this isn't good. James Madison may be forced to kick a field goal and only go down 2 here. Solomon breaks right by number 79. Barnett is in deep trouble. James Madison does not have their extra life. They sacrificed it when they lost to West Virginia earlier this year. 3rd and goal from the 23. They have no choice but to chuck it deep and say a prayer. Barnett, under pressure, avoids the sack again, throws to the end zone. It's out of bounds and knocked away. DiGennaro can't come up with the catch. It's 4th and goal. They're going to be forced to kick a field goal. They have all 3 timeouts, but only 2:53 to work with. If Charlotte gets a couple first downs, they will knock out James Madison. I cannot believe those words are coming out of my mouth. Number 95 ready to kick this thing. It's Cristiano Rosa. He kicks it up. The kick is good. 24-22 is your score. And it is a nervous environment there in Virginia, as James Madison will be forced to kick it off here. Oh my goodness. So Charlotte takes the return out to the 19-yard line. And here comes their quarterback, who we haven't seen yet today. I believe it's Grayson Loftus with the ball. He's going to throw short. That's going to be caught, but only for a couple yards. James Madison calls their first timeout. And they're laying all on the line right here. 2nd and 5 now for Charlotte. Loftus in the gun. He's done whatever his team has needed for him so far. They were down 16-0. He fakes the handoff. Under pressure and sacked. Xavier Holmes' 3rd sack of the game suddenly gives James Madison a chance. They're going to call their 2nd timeout. It'll be 3rd and 12. Charlotte will be forced to pass here. Do or die for the James Madison defense. Loftus drops back. Under pressure again. He avoids it. Throws. It is dropped. A pass breakup by number 13. Tyler Brown, the free safety, making the stop. It'll be 4th and 12. Charlotte will be forced to punt. James Madison, crucially, keeps a timeout, and they have so much time to drive down the field now. Suddenly, the Dukes have a great chance of survival. There goes the punt. And James Madison's going to get the ball. They'll return it to about the 45-yard line. So here come the Dukes. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. Barnett takes the snap. He's been sacked plenty of times, throws short. That's going to be caught by number 18. That's Logan Kyle, the tight end, making the catch. But it will run the time down probably to the 2-minute timeout. But at this point, You only have about 20 yards to go to get into field goal range. And you want to run that clock down. Force Charlotte to use their timeouts. Will they run a play here? They will not. And that'll bring us to the 2-minute timeout. I didn't think we were going to have a bunch of close games here. We're starting to run up against it a little bit in terms of time remaining before the bracket reveal happens for the college football playoff. Barnett in the shotgun. Press coverage on both ends of your screen. He waits. He wants to throw deep. He does. It's going to be caught to the 30-yard line, and James Madison is in field goal range. Barnett goes over 200 passing yards of the day. He has 2 touchdown passes. And now they can let the clock run. Charlotte is not calling their timeouts just yet. James Madison definitely wants to make it closer. This is a 47-yard kick here, not a sure thing. Barnett hands off to Knight. He gets a little bit of space and falls forward for about 6 yards. So now it's a 41-yard kick. Charlotte's still not calling their timeouts. They really should. Because they're probably not going to get the ball back here if they're not, fitting to call these timeouts. Barnett waits, throws short. It's going to be caught by number 11. That's Nick DiGennaro, the leading receiver of this tournament, making a clutch catch up to the 10-yard line. Charlotte finally calling their timeouts, but now it's too late. James Madison can run this clock down very far. It's a read option. Barnett takes it outside. He's going to be taken down at the 10-yard line. There's another timeout for Charlotte. And at this point, you got to let him score. Because otherwise, you're not getting this ball back. Barnett on 2nd and goal. He's going to hand it off to Knight. Knight is going to be taken down at the 8-yard line. There's the last timeout for Charlotte. So it all comes down to this decision for James Madison. Honestly, you got to just line it up in the middle and take a knee. You can't let this be kicked from the left hash. That's the only way you lose this game. Barnett hands it off to the left. He's going to get to the outside of the 5 to the end zone. Touchdown! James Madison takes the lead. Charlotte with no timeouts remaining, but they will get the ball. And they will have to drive the length of the field with no timeouts. It's George Pettaway, the leading rusher for this team, getting to the outside, sprinting to the corner. Charlotte does let them score the touchdown, but they do go down by 5 now. The Dukes are celebrating on the sidelines. Cinderella is still going as of right now. But does Charlotte have one more crazy drive left in them? Rosa's kick is up and blocked! They blocked the extra point! It's recovered! There is no 2-point return in the college game, but oh my God, what a terrible hold. A hesitation from the kicker. Terrible play. The extra point is blocked. And now, they're only down 4. It doesn't make much of a difference, but it does give Charlotte a little bit of momentum with 1:04 to go. They're going to turn the kick to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. He's taken down at the 22-yard line, and that is where Charlotte will begin. Grayson Loftus back against the wall. What will Charlotte do? Loftus throws short. It's going to be caught. Watch out to the 30, down to the 38-yard line. He's tackled in bounds. That'll run some time off the clock, but Charlotte's in business. They're finding even more passing lanes against this suddenly suspect James Madison defense. The last hope of the American Conference. Looking for a miracle here. Loftus with 38 seconds to go. He drops back under pressure, throws deep, and it's caught! Down to the 37. And Charlotte's going to have some shots at the end zone here. The clock will run a little bit more, 33 seconds to go. Down to 30. They can't stop the clock unless they spike it. And they're not going to spike it. They're just going to go deep again. No press coverage. James Madison going ultra deep. They're playing prevent. Field goal doesn't help them. Loftus throws short. It's caught wide open over the middle, but the clock will stop again to reset the chains. 18 seconds to go. They're playing this perfectly. No throw short of the first down marker. The clock will start running now. 16, 15. This might be their last chance on this play. 10 seconds to go. 9 seconds. There's press coverage all over the place. Loftus with 5. The last chance. Loftus throws to the end zone. It's caught. Can he get there? No, he cannot. James Madison just barely survives. Oh my God, what a finish. Alonzo Barnett is your player of the game. James Madison almost sold that so badly. But they survive to fight another day. They're 1 win short of an extra life once again, but they are out of easy games. It's all uphill from here for the Dukes. They just barely hold on. Let's go to the map. Unbelievable finish. That's one of the craziest games we've seen this year. Charlotte, what can I say? You brought it every single second of that game, and it came up just short. But I applaud your efforts. Bye-bye. And now we got to move. What? It's a school named James Madison. There we go. I think we can expand it up a little bit more here. Is that touching the border? I don't think it is. That'll just be where we do it. So that's the expanded territory for JMU. Charlotte's going to be eliminated from this wheel. And then from this one. Are they the last green team? They are not. Oregon is still there. Let's go to stats. Got to move quickly now because it's 11:33. Alonzo Barnett, 221 and 1 touchdown and 1 pick. That's huge. Grayson Loftus, 246, 1 touchdown, also 1 interception. Let's go to the run game. CJ Stokes, 14 of 37 and 2 touchdowns. He will get onto the stat sheet. As for James Madison, Wayne Knight, 17 for 74 yards. Alonzo Barnett, 8 for 20 and a touchdown. George Pettaway, 2 carries for 13 yards. And the game-winning touchdown. There's the longs. We go to receiving. Nick DiGennaro, once again, the leader, 6 for 82, including a huge drive on that last touchdown drive. Isaiah Alston, 4 for 39. Logan Kyle, 3 for 34. Wayne Knight, 3 for 19. Jalen Sanchez, 2 for 13. Landon Ellis, 2 for 30. George Pettaway, 1 for 4 and a touchdown. Josh Pfeiffer with a drop. We won't count that. As for Charlotte, Jaden McGowan, the leading receiver on the day, 5 for 112 yards and a touchdown. Justin Olson, 3 for 55. Javen Nicholas, 3 for 37. Gus McGee, 3 for 37. And E.J. Mason, 1 for 5. We go to defensive. There we go. Jamarian Solomon, 2 TFLs, 1 sack. Zion Shockley will not get on there. Neither will that guy. Braden Mullen, 1 and 1. Jaquarius Conley, 1 TFL, 1 interception, and a pass breakup. He's easily the player of the game for Charlotte. Xavier Simmons also gets a pass breakup and a forced fumble. No recoveries. 2 blocks for Charlotte. Thalen Baldwin and Jalen Johnson get 2 of them. No safeties, no touchdowns. We go to James Madison. Xavier Holmes, 4 tackles for loss, 3 sacks. Emmanuel Bush, 2 TFLs, 1 sack. Jacob Thomas, 1 TFL, 1 interception, and a pass breakup. Huge game for him. That was the only interception. No forced fumbles. DJ Barksdale with 2 pass breakups. Landon Ellis adds a pass breakup. Tyler Brown gets 1. Trent Hendrick gets 1, and then we already got that one. No recoveries, no blocks, no safeties, no touchdowns. We go to the kicking game for Charlotte. Liam Boyd, 1 made field goal, 3 made extra points. And Cristiano Rosa showing up again. 2 blocked extra points. Unbelievable for Rosa, but he does make 3 field goals, and that ended up being the difference in this ball game. Okay. 2 games to go. And only 4 remaining teams that have not played. Let's shuffle and get this going. We're trying to finish this up before noon. They're not going to reveal the bracket until a couple minutes into that stream, so we have a little bit of cushion here. Buffalo gets landed on once again here. As we go to the map, they could just go into Canada again, but they're also bordering Penn State, who has an extra life now. Let's get this arrow out and see if Buffalo will play the Nittany Lions here. They will. They're finally going to play Penn State once again into the breach, my dear friends. As we return to Happy Valley for another game. I believe it. Yeah, it's Penn State's 6th game of the tournament. Facing off against another MAC team. There's Buffalo, a 78 overall. Taking on the Penn State Nittany Lions with their 92 overall defense. Let's take a look at the uniforms here. We're going to go with the away look for Buffalo and the home uniform for Penn State. And we just got to hope that this one is a blowout that Penn State completely controls, because we are running out of time. The Buffalo Bulls. They played once last year. They lost to Central Michigan, I think. No. They beat Central Michigan and took their territory and expanded onto Michigan before we changed the rules. And they have been sitting pretty. They've avoided a couple games. But now they finally enter the fray, taking on the Nittany Lions in our second to last game of the night, of the day. We're now at 11:37. We're running out of time. There is James Franklin, now the boss at Virginia Tech. As what's the name of their coach? Matthew Kelly or something? God, what's his name? Penn State. Where are they? Matt Campbell. That's who he is. So just pretend it's Matt Campbell standing there instead of James Franklin. Buffalo will kick it off to the Nittany Lions, and we'll see if Penn State can finish this one off very quickly. The return to the 15, down to the 20 for Nick Singleton. As the Nittany Lions get things started with their backup quarterback, Ethan Grunkmeyer, coming in for the injured Drew Aller. And Brent Pry. Oh my God. It's so weird. Brent Pry is going to be brought back as the defensive coordinator. He was just the head coach of Virginia Tech, and now he's going to be the defensive coordinator of Virginia Tech. That's cool. Grunkmeyer stops and is dropped in the backfield. Bad play there, as Buffalo is able to shut him down. We will go to Super Sim. There we go. Penn State can't score early. Buffalo can't do it either. Penn State finally gets the touchdown. They're looking to score again. Buffalo won't let them. Do we have another close game on our hands? It's 7-3. Penn State can't put them away. Buffalo keeping it close. Stop, and Buffalo's taking the lead. Oh, my God. 3:32 to go. They have the ball, and they could run this thing out. Oh, no. They're going to hand it off up the middle and don't get much there. And now we just got to pull up the rosters again. I cannot believe we have to spectate another game here on the road in Penn State. And Buffalo has somehow taken the lead and is looking to run the clock out here to end the game. Penn State has not called their timeouts yet. It's 2nd and 9. Press coverage. Takes a snap. It's number 5 with a huge hole. 40, 35, 30, 25 down the 20-yard line, and Buffalo's in business. A.J. Henderson, or Al J. Henderson, I think, with a stunning run right through the teeth of the Penn State defense. This 92 overall unit that is about to lose to Buffalo. They will not be eliminated. They'll just use their extra life, but oh my God. .250 to go. They're running it all the way down. And Penn State looks defeated out there. He's going to throw short. Going to be caught by number 14. It's a good throw by Taquan Robertson. And it's a catch by Evan King, the tight end. 2:40 to go. We got to update the lighting here. Hold on. I don't quite know if Penn State deserves this, but we are going to change it here. Robertson hands it off. That's Henderson taken down. Penn State will call their second timeout. If they're able to make the stop here, they have a chance of winning, but Lord almighty. Robertson on 3rd and 2. Are we about to see another crazy upset? He waits, floats outside. Evan King makes the catch, gets the first down, and honestly, that's the best result for Buffalo because now they can really drop this clock down to around 40 seconds left, where Penn State will get it down 6 with no timeouts. Robertson hands it off to the outside. Will they let him score? No, it'll be a tackle for loss. But that just gives more time to knock out for Buffalo. Denied. Dennis Sutton makes the stop. I don't know why this crowd is so excited. This game is essentially over. It's a 10-7 shocker as we hit the 2-minute timeout. Here we go. 25 seconds on the play clock, 2 minutes left to go. As long as Buffalo doesn't turn it over, they're probably going to win this game, and they're going to let them score. I'm just going to go one play at a time and Super Sim the rest of this. We can't Super Sim yet. We got to wait for the replay. Al J. Henderson walks into the end zone for the game-sealing touchdown on the road in State College. Can't go Super Sim yet. This is a truly stunning result. 17-7 is the score. And we're just going to go one play at a time here. And that's your ball game. Buffalo wins it 17-7. An absolutely insane upset as the MAC gets a win over the Big Ten in stunning fashion. I can't believe that. Al J. Henderson, 115 rushing yards against Penn State's vaunted front four. Can you believe it? Penn State will survive. They are not eliminated yet because they've won 5 games in the tournament, so they got an extra life. But that extra life is gone. They have no margin of error. They're bordering Pitt and James Madison and Buffalo, who has their number. The extra life is gone. Buffalo's off this wheel. And we got to eliminate Penn State's extra life over here. There we go. Let's go to stats. What time is it? Oh, God, it's 11:44. We really got to move now. Ethan Grunkemeyer, 16-28, 201, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. That was the killer there. Taquan Robertson, 12-23, 130 yards, 1 score. He did just enough. But Al J. Henderson's your MVP, 16, 115 yards, 1 touchdown. His long was 40. Taquan Robertson with 5 yards. Lamar Sperling with 10. As for Penn State, they got shut down. Katron Allen, 15 for 48. Nicholas Singleton, 6 for 14. No touchdowns on the day. We go to receiving. Luke Reynolds, 5 for 61. Devontae Ross, 5 for 62. Kyron Hudson, 3 for 51. Trevor Pena, 2 for 19. Katron Allen, 1 for 8. And Penn State's lone touchdown. Buffalo, Evan King, 3 for 16. Josiah Gathings, 3 for 37. Victor Snow, 3 for 21 and a touchdown. Nick McMillan, 3 for 56. We go to defensive. We're going as fast as we possibly can. Red Murdoch, a crazy game. 2 tackles for loss, 1 interception, and 2 pass breakups. Deion Crawford, 1 tackle for loss, half of a sack. George Willow, 1 TFL. Devin Morgan, 1 TFL, half a sack. Solomon Brown, 1. Cornell Evans with 1, and a forced fumble. Kobe Stewart with 1 TFL and a sack. Miles Greer with 1 TFL. 2 picks. Marquise Cooper gets the other one. And then Keontae Bradley adds a pass breakup, no fumble recoveries, no blocks, no safeties, no touchdowns. Back to Penn State. Denied that Sutton, 2 TFLs. Ty Blanding with 1. Zane Durant, 1 TFL. and 1 sack. No picks. No forced fumbles. DeJuan Lane and A.J. Harris both with pass breakups. No blocks, no safeties, no touchdowns. We go to kicking. Ryan Barker made 1 extra point. Buffalo's kicker Jack Howes made 1 field goal and 2 extra points. He was the difference on the day. As we go to the main menu for our last game of the afternoon. We're really cutting it close. Let's shuffle this wheel one more time. We got to hope it's Florida. It could be either one, or it could be LSU. It's going to be UCF. So we will have one team left that has not played at the end of this episode. Here we go. UCF, they're bordering Florida and Miami. They've spun the arrow so many times, and they have not played yet because of their very advantageous position. Will they play this time? The answer is no. Well, actually, that's close. Let's zoom in here and see if the center of their logo collides with Miami here. We're going to have to really zoom in. We're going to stick it here, and does that collide with Florida at all? The answer is no. So UCF avoids playing yet again. No surprise there. And now we have to shuffle the wheel and go again. It's 11:48. I'm trying to get this done before noon. And it will go to Florida this time. We're just going to let the music play out here. Double check to make sure that it's Florida, and it is. There we go. So let's spin this arrow once again for Florida. That's going to be south. And that's very, very close. We're going to have to zoom in and verify here. And that is UCF. The Gators are finally playing. And we will get another Florida battle here. That took a lot of effort, but we are finally getting it. Let's get it set up. There's UCF. And on the other side, you got Florida. This is going to be a close game. We're probably going to have to spectate again. Lord Almighty. I will, if we do run into noon, I'm going to turn on the broadcast, and I will give you live updates on what's going on. So let's take a look here. UCF will play in their classic all-black uniforms, and then we will go with can't do that. Let's go with just the standard home uniform for Florida here. Got a noon kickoff, 7 minutes. As we are going to the bounce house. And I'm going to pull up these rosters now so I don't get burned again. The Florida Gators. The Imperialism Kickoff Invitational Champions. After a Cinderella run in that first contest we did back in July, will now take on the University of Central Florida Knights. Both of these teams finally playing for the first time, which means LSU is the last team to play in this tournament. I'll be right back. Go. Just grab my earbuds so I can be ready to go as soon as the College Football Playoff Selection Show begins. There goes the kick. UCF will return. And number 26 will be taken down to the 19-yard line. Not that great of a return. And that is where UCF's offense will walk onto the field. I believe, yes, it is. It's Taven Jackson at quarterback for the Knights. As they line everybody up here in the Florida sun. Jackson going to hand it off in first down, and it's a decent-ish. No, it's not. It's a gain of 1. And that will take us to Super Sim. Six nothing UCF trying to pull off the upset here. It's halftime. Florida still hasn't scored. It's 12-0. Gators in deep trouble, 12-3. And we're going to have to spectate. Oh, my God. 2:33 to go. UCF can end the game right here with a first down. It's that simple. What time is it? 11:51. So here's Taven Jackson with a chance to eliminate Florida's extra life. He drops back, wants to throw. He's hit, and he's forced to throw it out of bounds. So Florida will get one more chance to come back and win this game. Now, usually when we have extra lives get taken out, which we did with Penn State losing their extra life, we play another game. And honestly, I might do that here. We're running out of time, honestly. If the selection show ends up being short enough, I might do one more game once this is over. But we might have to do 2 because we might eliminate both extra lives here. Craziness. DJ Lagway with everything on the line. They only have 1 timeout. He looks, he's hit, and just falls down. Embarrassing. That's going to take us to the 2-minute timeout. It's 2nd and 17. It's Nigelique Kelly making the stop, and Florida's mascot is not having it. And they must be very glad that they got their extra life in the kickoff invitational because they are getting embarrassed by UCF here. As we will take this all the way down to the 2-minute timeout. UCF looking to earn an SEC victory here. All they got to do is shut down Florida's offense a little bit more. They have yet to allow a touchdown. Lagway under pressure again. He's sacked again. They're not going to use their timeout. It's Malachi Lawrence getting in there to shut him down. This is sad. Malachi Lawrence gets it done. Lagway under pressure, throws short. That's going to be caught by number 22. And he gets out of bounds. But it's nowhere near close enough, so this is going to be your ball game. 4th and 17 for the Florida Gators. Is this where their extra life that they fought so hard to earn by beating all of the best teams in the country? Is this where it dies? Lagway. Under pressure. Sacked. No, he breaks away. 20. 25. Can he get there? No, he cannot. And the UCF Knights are going to come away with an upset win here in the bounce house, which I'm sure is bouncing like crazy. There goes the run for Jackson. And just for good measure, he jukes a man out of his shoes, spins back inside. There's the last timeout, and we can go to Super Sim. We're going to take this right to the end. That is your ball game. UCF gets the victory and knocks out Florida's extra life. And no, I don't think we're going to do another episode today or game today. What we are going to do is next week's episode, which is going to be next Tuesday, is going to be a supersized. Or, no. We're going to do a very short episode this Tuesday to get these extra 2 games done as a little bonus. What a game for UCF. 12-6 is the final. That's insane. But we are going to stay live for the selection show, which starts in 5 minutes. Let's go to the map and finish this out. We ended up timing it perfectly. Florida's extra life is gone, and the map will stay the same. Let's go to the wheel and knock both Florida and UCF off of it. LSU is your lone survivor. And they will also play. They'll play next week in the opener of that game, as we don't eliminate anybody from the wheel here. Oopsie. Did not mean to spin the wheel there. That's my fault. Of course it's Ohio State. Of course it's Ohio State. But that, of course, that wheel spin does not matter in the slightest because we're not playing that game just yet. Let's go to stats one more time. Taven Jackson, 10 of 20, 111 yards and a pick, but he did what he had to. DJ Lagway, 19 of 33 for 182 yards, 2 interceptions. Horrible game from him. We go to the run game. They had basically nothing. Jaden Ball, 15 for 33. 2 fumbles on the day. Lagway, 10 of 26. Eugene Wilson, 2 for 7. Here's the longs because we will have to track this. UCF, Miles Montgomery, 12 for 31. Taven Jackson, 12 for 15. Dwayne Thomas Jr., 1 for -2. Here are the longs. Go on Dwayne Thomas Jr., 4 for 43. Dylan Wade, 3 for 36. I don't think we had a single touchdown in this game. Marcus Burke, 3 for 32. And Nehemiah Hughes with nothing, but he also had a drop. Florida on the other side, J. Michael Sturdivant, 4 for 44. Hayden Hansen, 4 for 45. Khalil Jackson, 3 for 21. Jaden Both, 2 for 24. Jacoby Jackson, 2 for 21. Tony Livingston, 2 for 19. Eugene Wilson III, 2 for 8. We go on to defensive. We're moving as fast as we possibly can here. LJ McCray, 2 TFLs, 1 sack. Sharif Denson, 1 TFL. George Gumbs Jr., 1 and 1. Caleb Banks with 1. 1 pick for Bryce Thornton. He also had the only pass breakup of the game and a forced fumble. Michael Caraway Jr. adds a forced fumble himself. Thornton recovered his and returned it for 22 yards. No blocks, no safeties, no touchdowns. Back over to UCF. How many sacks did they have in this game? Only 2. Damari Henderson, 1 TFL. Malachi Lawrence, 1 and 1 with a pass breakup. Nigel Lee Kelly with 1 and 1 and a forced fumble. RJ Jackson Jr. with 1 TFL and a forced fumble. John Walker with 1 TFL. Kelly Lawson with 2 interceptions on the day and a pass breakup. Jaden Bellamy adds 2 for himself. Antoine Jackson adds 1. Braden Marshall adds 1. Philip Dunham adds 1. And Lawrence also had 1. 3 forced fumbles by Cam Moore, RJ Jackson, and Nigel Kelly. All 3 of them were recovered for various return yards. They also got a block, no safeties, and a return touchdown for Cam Moore. No Rulis was 2 for 3 on field goals. None of them were blocked. And then Trey Smack with 2 field goals as well, but no extra points for him. As we return to the main menu. So here is your map. We're at the top 34 because we lost 2 extra lives in this episode. But this is what the map looks like with only 34 teams remaining and no extra lives on the map. James Madison very close to getting 1. I believe Arizona State is also close to getting 1. But that is what it looks like. As it was 11:59, we could not have timed that any better if we tried. As I'm going to pull up the selection show. I think it's going to be on ABC. Let's double check that. What? Where's the selection show? Okay, it's going to be on ESPN. It hasn't started yet. Shut up. Okay. Put this in. Okay, they are live. They're talking about Duke and Virginia. The fact that Duke pulled off that upset last night was truly unbelievable. I mean, it's crazy chaos. The fact that the ACC has a team as good as Miami but will not make the college football playoff unless they send Duke, a 5-loss Duke team, into the tournament. I mean, do they send the team, Notre Dame, who made the national championship last year? They've proven finally that they can show up in the college football playoff, but they lost to Miami, but they haven't lost since. And they have the best running back in the country in Jeremiah Love. Got a decent quarterback, decent defense, great head coach, great home atmosphere. Do they get the last spot, or will it be Miami somehow? They're saying no right answer here, only wrong ones need apply. Like, it's entirely up to their discretion at this point. So many ways in which this could go. I'm going to see if I can change the title of this to show that we're actually reacting to this now. There we go. Let's see if that updates on this end. There we go. Got the map here. Oh my goodness. And we're going to make this camera full screen right here. Yeah, who are they going to leave out? Is it going to be Alabama, Notre Dame, or Miami? That is like the massive question that they're going to have. I mean, there's always somebody left out of these conversations, whether it's 4 or 12 or 16. Somebody's going to be mad every time. When it's a 68 team tournament in March Madness, people are mad when they don't get into that, even though they're like, they've had a bad year. They've had like 12 losses and they're still mad they don't get in. So that's always what happens here. But I think their job is to put the 12 best teams in. And honestly, it seems like Alabama's probably going to get in, but geez, are you going to eliminate Notre Dame after how they've looked? Because granted, a lot of bad teams. They beat a good Pitt team, but they've been destroyed by Miami and then Texas A&M earlier on in the year. They don't have really any good wins against college football playoff teams. But Miami beat Notre Dame week 2. They did that. Yeah, that's the thing. With all the rankings we've seen so far, they've consistently ranked Notre Dame above Miami, which I contend makes no sense. Sure, Miami has 2 bad losses. Let's just double check to see, because they lost to Louisville in embarrassing fashion. That, um, let me double check this real quick. So Miami's schedule: they beat Notre Dame, then Bethune. They beat South Florida when they were ranked. They beat Florida and Florida State when Florida State was ranked. Then they lost to Louisville and SMU. Those are the two losses. Those losses are worse than Notre Dame's losses, which were to a top 5 Miami team and a top 3 Texas A&M team. And they've beaten everybody else convincingly. Beat Purdue, Arkansas, Boise State, NC State, ranked USC, which looks like a good win now. Boston College, Navy, Pitt, Syracuse, they obliterated them 70-7 and then destroyed Stanford. Like, they have not had a single game within one score since the loss to Texas A&M. And they were close in both games, so you know. It's a good resume, but then the team right below them is Miami, and Miami beat them. Like, head to head, if you're going to schedule a difficult schedule, and the question is whether they let in both Notre Dame and Miami and drop out Alabama, even though they have so many big SEC victories. They beat Georgia, which is all you really have to say. But they have 3 losses. They lose to Florida State, which is a terrible loss. They lose to Oklahoma, who's a college football playoff team. It's more understandable. And then they get obliterated by Georgia in a neutral site. I think the question is, and you really have to factor this, I think they should factor this in more, is if you have a game where you go into the college football playoff, does the team have a fighting hope in the college football playoff? I think that needs to be a factor when you're making those last couple of decisions. And with the way Alabama's played, I don't know if they do against any of these teams. They would probably be the number 9 and number 10 team. They'd have to go against number 7, I guess, Ole Miss. They probably have a chance against Ole Miss without their head coach. I would think they would. And it'd be a very exciting game for sure. But Lordy, it's a difficult decision. Now they're talking to Nick Saban. So yeah, Alabama's beaten Georgia, Vanderbilt, Missouri, Tennessee, and LSU. But that loss against Florida State, man, if you are that loss to Florida State is around as bad as Miami's loss to Louisville, in my opinion. And they made the SEC championship, but then just got blanked by Georgia, completely embarrassed. And I don't know whether they're one of the best teams in the country right now, given where they are, given the fact that they have no healthy running backs. All right, so now they've got reporters at every single school where it's uncertain. So yeah, Kalen DeBoer speaking on the SEC, SEC championship game they lost in a blowout. He's saying we played, they didn't. Marcus Freeman's big quote is saying, "Who are the best teams now?" And Notre Dame looks good, but it's against like a bunch of meh teams. Boston College is awful. Navy is decent this year, and they beat them. Pitt, it's an impressive victory, but then Pitt looked bad in their last game. I mean, they haven't had a single-digit victory this season. Every single one of their wins has been blowouts. Wow. So there have been 13 times where two ranked teams have played each other during the regular season and then were in the rankings afterwards. In every single instance, except for Miami and Notre Dame, the team that won the head-to-head was ranked higher. This is the only time the committee has ranked the loser of the game higher, which I don't understand. It seems self-explanatory, but apparently it's not. Meanwhile, Duke beat a college ball playoff team in Virginia and has a ranked win and much better strength of schedule, but they do have 5 losses. James Madison had a pizza party after their team meeting. Strength of schedule, head to head, comparative outcomes of common opponents without incentivizing margin of victory. Interesting. Unavailability of key players and coaches that may have affected past performance or likely will affect post-season performance. That's a big factor with Alabama. That's a huge factor with Alabama. They're going into this tournament with 3 losses and no running backs. That needs to be the bigger reason why they could be eliminated, which would be insane that we've had two 12-team playoffs and Alabama might not wake either one. That would be insane. To have Ryan Williams, one of the most electric talents in college football, not play a single playoff game going into his junior year next year when he will definitely play in the NFL afterwards. I mean, honestly, I'm trying to figure out what I would do here. I think I would go. Let's just take a look at the rankings again. Yeah, so I would go Indiana number one, Georgia. I think I would put Texas Tech above Ohio State, honestly, as the number three team. You have Ohio State number four, Oregon number five, Ole Miss number six. Well, actually, they'll probably put Texas A&M above them because Lane Kiffin's gone. Texas A&M six, Ole Miss seven, Oklahoma eight. And then it would be yeah, they did beat Georgia. This is rough, man. I think I would probably put Alabama in. So we Alabama, Notre Dame. I would. I think I would go with Miami above Notre Dame. I would. I would, and then the last two, I would put in Tulane and James Madison. Give us two group of five teams. Like, let them play. Send James Madison to Autzen Stadium and see what they're made of. And then it would be Tulane against Texas A&M. Here's the thing. Duke wouldn't be able to hold their own against either one of these teams either, I don't think. Like, they've got some talent. They've got a decent quarterback, but they would get railroaded by Texas A&M. Or by Oregon, especially Oregon. Oregon would manhandle Duke, no question about it. Although, they got destroyed by Ohio State last year and just didn't show up despite the fact that they were 13-0. So who knows? Maybe Oregon's there. I don't... There's so many uncertain things, and I think there's going to be a lot of people who just spend a lot of time ranting and raving, regardless of what happens here. What time is it? 12:19? Because then once this is done, I got to run and go get some food, because then it's Ravens-Steelers time. I'm not going to be reacting to that live. So we'll see how this goes. You're not going to start this game? It's a great commercial. God, these T-Mobile commercials are so dumb. Oh boy, this is going to be a very, very controversial decision, whichever way they go. Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand why you would rank Notre Dame above Miami. It goes against so much precedent, and I don't think Notre Dame has a single game that justifies it. Sure, Miami's losses are bad, but and they're worse than Notre Dame's losses. That is the one argument you can make. But are you really going to shut out the ACC entirely? What does that mean for the ACC when you have a top 10 AP ranked 10-2 team? Sure, they didn't make the conference championship because of some like tiebreaker BS, but like, here we go. This is the moment. I'm going to pull up the lighting so we can get some dramatic lighting shifts with every team they reveal. Oh, this hype reel's so great. Oh boy, they showed Duke instead of James Madison in the hype reel. I'm nervous, y'all. Here we go. It is time for the 12-team bracket to be revealed. Here we go. All right, we have begun. The number one team in the country is somehow the Indiana Hoosiers. Craziness. Undefeated, beating Ohio State, and going into the tournament as the number one seed. Incredible. We're going to keep this red for a bit because nearly all of the top-ranked teams were red. Wow. They haven't won the Big Ten since 1967, but now they are champs, and they are going into the playoffs as the front runners. Unbelievable, especially considering how hard Fernando Mendoza got hit on the opening play, that he's still kicking and still ready to go. And Ohio State is number 2. Huh. So they won't elevate Georgia above Ohio State, I guess, because Ohio State's only loss of the year is to the number one team in the country. It's got some logic to it. Ay, ay, ay. That missed field goal in the Big Ten Championship was truly embarrassing. But they get the number 2 spot, and we'll keep the lighting the same because it's still there. So now number 3 is undoubtedly the SEC champions in the Georgia Bulldogs. There it is. So Georgia takes the 3rd spot. Let me change that lighting back. That's not as good. There we go. So Georgia is the number 3 team in this tournament, facing the winner of 6 versus 11. Ohio State will get the winner between 7 and 10. In week 1, Indiana will get the winner between number 5 and number 12. Right? No, they get the winner between 8 and 9. Sorry, I forgot about that. So now number 4, this better be Texas Tech. Do we go all 4 with the top red? Yes, it is. It's the Big 12 champion, Texas Tech Red Raiders. Getting a difficult spot here. They're going to probably have to play Oregon in their first game because Oregon's almost definitely going number 5. big celebration. They destroyed BYU twice. They've got a very impressive resume, but now they have to leave one of the lesser conferences and go against a Big Ten team in a neutral site. Very difficult spot for them. So here we go. Number 5. So number 5 is the Oregon Ducks. They were the number 1 team last year. They have 1 loss against Indiana, and now they are here. They will get a home game at Autzen Stadium against probably James Madison, but it could be Duke. It really could be. We're taking a look at some highlights now. They've got a physical defense, so many ultra-talented players because they are just emptying the bank, spending as much money as they possibly can to try and desperately bring a national championship to Eugene. I don't think it's going to happen this year, but they've got a strong team to be able to pull it off. Number 6, I would assume this is Texas A&M. I think that's the direction the committee needs to go because Lane Kiffin left. It's Ole Miss. Ole Miss is able to get the number 6 spot. Wow. So the Rebels, with their defensive coordinator taking over as head coach, they must like the way he coaches because it's a big decision. I mean, I can't believe Lane Kiffin left. It's such a dumb choice to leave Ole Miss. Yes, the biggest game in the history of Ole Miss football. That goes without saying. Here we go. Number 7 is almost certainly the Texas A&M Aggies. Let's just wait for the official confirmation. There it is. So Texas A&M gets their spot. And now the very controversial decisions begin from here on out. Well, not really. Oklahoma's going to get number 8, which will be another home game. So 3 out of the 4 home atmospheres in the first round will be in SEC stadiums, which is great because SEC games have the best atmospheres whatsoever. In a cold December weather, that's going to be a very fun atmosphere. So now the last game, so much red. Here we go. The Oklahoma Sooners, boomer, getting that last spot and advancing to the 8th seed. And they're going to get a very difficult opponent at number 9, regardless of who the committee puts there. And really, you have, I don't know whether you can put Notre Dame in. I don't know whether they should get an automatic bid to the college football playoff every single year just because they're Notre Dame. I think Alabama should get in because of their wins, and Miami should get in because they beat Notre Dame. Does week 1 matter or not? That's the question people are asking. So who's next? This is the question. Okay, who's number 9? The number 9 team in the college football playoff is... It's Alabama. They will not be punished for losing in the SEC championship. They will keep their 9 seed, and now we get the big decision. Oh my God. It all comes down to this. Do they rank Notre Dame above Miami? I cannot believe they're about to make this choice. I think they are. That's what I'm prepping to do for the lights. Oh, man. They're showing Alabama highlights now. I mean, yeah, they got rocked in the SEC championship game. But they've got some talent. No running backs to speak of. So it's a question of whether they can beat Oklahoma on the road and prove themselves in that environment once again. But here's number 10. This is the most crucial moment of the season. Do you honor head-to-head record or do you not? They're the first 3-loss team to ever make the tournament. All right. This is it. Number 10. This is the moment. Who is it? Number 10 is Miami. It's Miami. They changed their mind at the buzzer. The Miami Hurricanes are in the college football playoff. Unbelievable. Oh my God, they did it. Head-to-head matters. So Notre Dame had all those blowout wins, and they will not make the tournament. I mean, yeah, if you send Alabama into the tournament with their awful loss at Florida State, you need to send in Miami, despite the fact they lost to Louisville and SMU. Unbelievable. Miami gets their shot to win a natty. Carson Beck has the chance to go into the tournament. That is a crazy decision. I agree with that choice. FPI Notre Dame is 3rd. Miami is 7th. Everything else is tied. Strength of schedule is exactly the same for both teams. My God. I can't believe they actually put Miami in. I agree with it because I think their ranking Notre Dame above Miami was wrong this whole time. Okay, 2 more teams to be revealed. I think next you've got, the American Conference champion, the Tulane Green Wave, making the college football playoff for the first time ever. It's a huge moment for them. And they will go on the road to face Ole Miss. That is going to be a fun game. So here we go. The last decision. Is this going to be James Madison, or will the committee shock us again and put a 5-loss team into the college football playoff? Which way is this going to go? I think I know the answer, but they could shock us again. I didn't think they were going to flip Miami, but they did. And I don't think they're going to flip Duke. They do not. James Madison, our Imperialism Cinderella, has made the college football playoff as the 12 seed. They will go to Eugene to play Oregon. Oh, they're throwing streamers. They're going nuts in the team room at James Madison in Harrisonburg, Virginia. They almost lost to Charlotte today in this broadcast, but that did not happen. Unbelievable. James Madison gets in as the last team, and I have to go. That is your field, a 12-team spot. And let me just put this camera back to where it belongs real quick. There we go. This is the map as it stands at the end. Notre Dame is the last team out, and I think BYU will probably be the last one. Yeah, I do wonder whether if Virginia had won that game, if they had put Notre Dame ahead of Miami, if there's pressure from the ACC to get one team from their conference into the tournament after they got shafted when Jordan Travis got hurt last year. All right, so that's the end. That is the end of this broadcast. I will see y'all on Tuesday for a special two